I've always loved comic book characters, but I never extended that love to comics themselves. As a big visuals guy, I've always preferred watching the movies or animated shows on comic book media. I did, however, read a couple issues of Deadpool way back then, specifically the Deadpool core series, and I absolutely loved it. But that was back when I was like 11 or something, and I just never got into them again. And to buy comics, you need money, and also probably the biggest factor is that it requires reading, which I was never that big of a fan of in the first place. I mostly read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and my brain would just fall asleep if it sees more than a single paragraph of text. Honestly, my brain still behaves the same. But my point is, my tolerance in reading is low, so naturally I had a hard time getting into literature. Which is a shame because I know there's some juicy stories within those girthy blocks of texts, but goddamn, the struggle is just too fucking real. Anyway, recently I've been trying to read manga more, and I've seen some pretty great success with that. Found some of my most favorite stories ever through manga. However, I still haven't had any interest in comics. And then Marvel Rivals dropped, a game I have been anticipating for months since I've heard of its release. And that shit hit like a nuclear bomb online. It fucking exploded. I've always had an interest in Moon Knight, always thought he looked cool. Never knew much about him though, but I really enjoyed the show. Like, I know a lot of Moon Knight fans don't really like that show because it didn't represent Moon Knight very well. But as someone that wasn't that familiar with Moon Knight and just enjoyed it as is, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Hopefully in the future, maybe even season 2, he gets adapted better. And if not, then fine, I'll do it myself in like 30 years. Anyway, I had already saved a couple volumes of different runs of not just Moon Knight, but all sorts of characters and events based off recommendations I've seen online. I just kept them backlogged for when I finally feel like reading some comics. And when Marvel Rivals got a gajillion billion people talking about it, people started getting into comics more. And people started to get more interested in the Marvel characters. And I'm one of them. I was one of them. Like, my interest and love for Marvel went up again because I enjoyed playing these characters and the stupid little game so much. And I was like, you know what, these characters really are cool. Let me tap back in. And I also just got so much more posts about comics and Marvel characters on my Twitter feed, and through all that, the final domino in this whole conga line falls over as I finally decide to read and finish a Moon Knight comic after seeing all of this unfold. Why Moon Knight specifically? I don't know. Again, I just thought he was cool. I rarely even play him in Rivals either. Like, I mainly main Strange and like Luna and Invisible Woman. I don't get to do DPS much. Everyone fucking locks that role. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about Marvel Rivals, as you can guess. Now is probably the time where I should actually start talking about the comic that I read. Which run is it, you might ask? Thank you for asking. It was the 2021 Moon Knight run by MacKay. Was this the best one to start with? I have no idea. I didn't do a whole lot of research. Honestly, while I was reading this, I was getting the feeling that I probably should have had some more background knowledge on Moon Knight and the events he was tied to, because he's out here talking about letting Khonshu rule Earth and committing such ultra dubious acts that the Avengers kicked him out and is now keeping an eye on him. I'm like, what the fuck is he yapping about? What did I miss? But regardless, it didn't really take away from the experience. It's not like the story heavily relies on those past arcs to where you'd be extremely lost. Just a mention of it and how he talks about the past is enough to clue me in on the gravity of those situations and how those events shaped who he currently is. So basically, those earlier events and many more traumatic moments in Mark's life are used as the main sort of narrative where Mark tries to heal after dealing with so much and being an absolute monster in the past. And I think they do it really fucking well. I was also very surprised to learn that he has a whole brother. What? Not blood related, of course, just spirit related, as they're both fists of Khonshu, which is really cool. I really thought it was just Mark doing this thing, but like, right, yeah, Khonshu would have two fists, wouldn't he? Also, the art is just absolutely fantastic. I can't make a video about this run and just not talk about the art. It is amazing, like, great googly moogly. Shit is so fucking peak. I absolutely love Kabuchio's art style. Like, the darkness and the lights in his art, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It just looks ethereal. Like, I feel like if a Moon Knight comic were to look a certain way, it would be like this. Rosenberg's art is also fantastic, but like, Cappuccio is just on another level, bro. That guy is him. Anyway, I listed down my thoughts as I was reading, and I'm not too sure how I should lay them all out, so I'll just go through them and read them as is. Okay, so while reading this chapter, I was like, oh, wow, this was surprisingly heavy. I love how they further explored Tigra's character, and that conversation / argument between her and Mark on the rooftop was so devastating and messy, but the good kind of messy, because it just gets so real between them. And then I flipped 2 pages later, and why? Why could they have not just been friends? What the fuck? Is this just me feeling this way? Okay, so I just discovered several posts of people talking about how their relationship was fire and that it was peak. Yeah, I'm getting crucified, bro. Like, I don't know, maybe I need to reread, maybe binging it was the issue, maybe not having enough background on his character, on both of their characters is the issue. I don't know. I'm standing on my ground though. Is that how you say it? Whatever, man. I'm staying on my side. If anyone can convince me otherwise, feel free to do so. I want to make it clear though, I do like the idea of them being in a relationship. I think it's sweet. I think it's wholesome. It's just that the timing felt off. Like, for them to solidify that deeper connection between them right after such a heavy argument, it just felt wrong to me, man. Mark immediately apologizing was good, but I think Tigra going in for the kiss would have felt better after we've seen them properly heal and work it out more, you know, like just give them some distance after what just happened. But nah, like it was just immediate and it felt jarring to me. But yeah, I don't know, that's about it though. Yeah, back to video recording me. Cause like, yeah, I get it. They've been through a lot together and she's done so much for him and blah blah blah, but like what the fuck? I mean, even she says it's crazy to kiss him and to even date him, especially after what just happened. But it's whatever, cause instincts apparently, and I was just sat there in disbelief. This chapter was so fucking good, and then I was just appalled after the last 3 pages. Like, why did that happen? And why did it happen so soon? Anyway, after that next chapter, I flipped to the next page and saw Venom and Moon Knight on the cover for the next issue. Oh my god, I immediately started going crazy because... Yeah! I'm sorry, it's like 11 p.m. when I'm recording this. I can't scream. And I don't live alone. I can't scream. So since when did Venom have a son? What the fuck? Who's the lucky gal that received the 19 inches of Venom? And this team up, dude, holy fuck, I'm gonna blow. It's all over the screen, it's everywhere. Venom looks fucking majestic in Cappuccio's art style. Oh my god. This man is Midas. I need more of his art. Okay, I want to talk about Zodiac real quick. Specifically his fuck-ass haircut. That shit is pissing me off, man. Why did he choose to go with that? What barber approved of this? Like... This is like Foo Fighters haircut, but worse. I'm sorry, FF. Like, but anyway, his character though, I mean, like, he was cool. I was fully expecting him to be like the main antagonist. He was coming on so strong in the beginning, and I thought he was like I don't know. I just got the idea that they were building him up to be the big bad, but then he just got sidelined. He just got incarcerated, and then now there's this random ass Black Spectre guy. Apparently, there's 3 of them. Another reason as to why I feel like I should have gotten more background on Moon Knight, but hey, I still enjoyed it, okay? Now that I've finished reading it though, I actually like the conclusion they gave Zodiac. I understand it now. And the shift to Black Spectre made sense looking back on it, so yeah, you know, good stuff, good stuff. So for the last volume, or issue, I don't know what you call these things, yeah, I actually felt something while reading those pages of Mark's final moments. I don't believe he's actually dead for reals. I mean, we're talking about comics here, let's be honest. Characters don't stay dead unless you're Uncle Ben or one of the Robins, I don't know. That's what they say, at least. But yeah, whether he actually does come back or not, I think that was a really good ending for him. I don't know, I liked it. And with Jake and Steven helping him push further to blow up the top floor, that might have just been absolute cinema, I won't lie. And oh my goodness, that final panel, I damn near busted in my pants when I turned in the page. And I was in public while reading it, so it really tested me. Just chills. Reese with the white suit. 8-Ball in a suit. Oh, mamma mia, what a hard panel. I also finished reading this 2022 annual thing where Mark fights a werewolf named Russell because he kidnapped Mark's daughter to kill Khonshu. Because of some sort of prophecy, and I was like, whoa, daughter? When did that happen? And of course it featured his ex-wife, or partner, or whatever the fuck she is, and man, it reminded me of Mark and Tigra, just randomly. Is it Tigra or Tigra? It has to be Tigra, right? Tigra sounds fucking stupid. Anyway, it reminded me of Mark and Tigra just randomly getting together in chapter 22, and it bothered me even more while I was reading this issue, whatever the hell it is, because Mark was willing to go back with Marlene and Beatrice to be an actual father. Now I don't know when the time frame is between the two events, you know, between this annual thing and when chapter 22 occurred, but still, like, man. And they never even did anything with Tigra and Mark's relationship. It added nothing. They didn't even expand on it. Like, what was the point, man? I mean, there was this moment in the final chapter or something where Tigra stepped on a landmine and she's like, no, Mark, go, I'll stay here. And then, you know, like, she was really sad about Mark dying, but it's like, she can be sad and feel all those things that she felt in those final chapters without having to be his girlfriend. Like, I don't get it. That's literally the biggest problem I have with this comic. Other than that, it's enjoyable, it's fantastic. It's not the best thing that I've read, but it also didn't have to be. And I'll get into more of why I enjoyed it so much, like right now. I love how much they explore Moon Knight's character, and by character, I mean Mark, Jake, Steven, and of course Moon Knight. What can make him happy? What does he want from himself? What exactly can heal a broken man? Can he even be fixed? Is he broken beyond repair? The constant struggles between Mark, Steven, and Jake and how they help one another. Just all written and depicted so well. So this is where I talk about the thumbnail, where I state that this comic actually kind of changed me. Now, even though I don't have DID, I think, I still heavily related to Mark with his internal struggles. I have been my own worst enemy for years. For years. I've looked down on myself in like a bajillion ways. Like, I deadass fight myself in my mind because I just get this bitch ass voice talking so much shit, and I get so pissed off sometimes that I actually get the strongest urge to punch something. And sometimes I do. I cave in and I do. I punch walls. I harm myself. If I managed to clone myself, we would actually be brawling every other day. I've of course tried to heal and love myself more, and in recent times, it's been getting better. Nowadays, I've actually started to see myself as a brother, which is just an insane development that I wouldn't have expected to come so soon. And reading about Mark, Steven, and Jake helping each other out, and Steven and Jake pushing Mark to keep going in that final chapter was honestly really touching. It hit different. It's not even something I haven't seen before. There's Mr. Robot, where Elliot discovers and accepts himself. There's this whole episode that talks about suicide, and like, I will just never forget how uplifting that ending was and how powerful that whole episode was. And there's even with BoJack Horseman, who for like 90% of the show is just an absolute asshole, one of the worst fictional characters of all time, honestly. And even he tries to like get some help in the last season. So this really isn't my first rodeo. But I guess what made seeing this kind of story different is that I'm actively trying with myself this time. I've been making big steps recently. trying even harder to gain weight by constantly reminding myself to eat more and even trying to cook my own meals. To add to that, I'm starting to consistently work out again. I mean, after years of seeing myself in the mirror and absolutely hating my reflection, it would be utterly foolish of me to still react the same way after trying so much recently. I don't care if this feeling ends up being temporary. I'm sure in the future, distant or near, I'll still end up tussling with myself once in a while. But after carrying the boulder up the mountain for what seemed like an eternity, it's really great to just finally see myself as someone to love and care for, as much as everyone else I care about. So thank you, Jed MacKay, for writing the story. Alessandro Cappuccio, Rochelle Rosenberg, Federico Sabatini, whoever the artists are, I'm not too sure on the other two artists besides Cappuccio. I don't know, everyone that worked on this comic. Thank you. And thank you, Moon Knight. I guess I started reading at the right time in my life. Alright, some additional thoughts. I really like Reese's character. I think she was pretty cool. I still don't understand how she's supposed to be a teenager though. She deadass looks like a whole middle-aged woman. The Midnight Mission is also really fucking awesome. It's like Monster House, the movie from 2009 that made me shit my pants when I was 8 years old. And finally, 8-Ball is such a fun side character. I love my goofballs. This guy is such a goofy goober. I've never seen him before this comic, but I really enjoyed his moments. And of course, special shout out to Hunter's Moon, because he's super fucking cool, and I absolutely love his dynamic with Mark. So yeah, that's all I have to say, folks. That's all I have to say about my experience reading Jed MacKay's Moon Knight from 2021, which you can read over at marvelunlimited.com. Hashtag ad, hashtag not really, because I actually sailed the seas to read it, because I am a broke college student, okay? But if you have the money to buy comics, go do that, because that's cool and stuff. Anyway, enough rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comic recommendations, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video, which should be in a couple weeks from now. Finals week is next week as of recording this, so I can just fucking grind. I got so many video ideas. So yeah, stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, I don't know, do whatever. Until then, stay safe and stay hydrated always, my friends. Adios. To hold me.